Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. It's the weekend, which only means one thing. It's time for that weekly news roundup. As always, we will begin with FPGA gaming news, the MiSTer, the Analogue Pocket, the Analogue 3D, and well, any other FPGA gaming news out there that's worth reporting. After that, we'll cover some random and retro gaming stuff. Do remember guys, timestamps have been made available for your convenience, so use those to navigate your way around the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, then a subscription and a like is always super duper appreciated. If you wish to support the channel further, then I do have a Patreon. Go and check that out. And don't forget to check the sponsor of the weekly news show, Zapparoo. That's right guys, a way to make NFC so much fun. Launch anything from NFC, turn a cartridge into an NFC, turn your kitchen sink into an NFC token, whatever you like, you can turn it into NFC and launch games. Anyway, that's the sponsor. And finally guys, don't forget to check out London's best arcade, Free Play City. Let's start this week's with some great news of a new public release from ℳ𝒾𝓈𝓈 and his team. And guys, this time it is the arcade system, SEGA System 18. This is a banger of a system. There's 3 games that I really like on this, but there are more games on this that I like as well. And one of the 3 games is Moonwalker. I always end up showing Shadow Dancer because that is my favorite, but hey, I like Moonwalker too. Play this, it's fantastic. Grab this via your updater. So if you're on something like the Analogue Pocket, run Pupdate, run Pocket Sync or Retro Driven's Pocket Updater. If that's still getting updated, I'm not sure if that has been updated recently on the MiSTer, just run Update All and enjoy these fantastic arcade games, man. And having a look at System 16, which is the website showing us SEGA System 18 hardware and what games are on there. We have Alien Storm. Guys, this is a banger. I love this brawler, and I always say I would love to see Alien Storm and Golden Axe come back in the form that Streets of Rage came back with Streets of Rage 4. One can wish, right? Sega, if you're listening, please do it. And then we got this game here, Blockseed. Guys, this is Tetris, but this is difficult. If you really consider yourself a Tetris master, then prepare to be tested. I played it a few times. I'm not smart enough to do well on that. Then we've got Clutch Hitter. It's a baseball game. Someone chucks a baseball at you, you hit it, and hopefully you get a home run. Then we've got DD Crew, a brawler that I never really played in the arcade. I played it, it's okay, but obviously I'd have more liking for it if I had the nostalgia for it. If you have the nostalgia for it, check it out. All of these are available via Update Tool. Then we've got Desert Breaker, a game that reminds me of games like Commando, Mercs, Akari Warriors, Guerrilla War, top-down shoot, a formula that always works. You like shock troopers, you're probably gonna like this too. Then we've got, yeah, MC Hammer Away. Okay, I just wanted to say this, can't touch this. Okay, Hammer Away. It's a vertical shmup. I need to get back on point. Pixel. It's a vertical shmup where you shoot stuff on the ground, in the air, and you're a helicopter, and no, you are not Earwolf. Then we've got Laser Ghost. Laser Ghost, what is Laser Ghost? Well, it's a light gun game. I really do like it. You've got goofy kind of characters in here, really good, almost like a comedy horror type of thing. If you have a light gun, try it out. Don't forget the MiSTer also supports the Sinden light gun via the JT arcade calls. So if you've got Sinden light gun, set it up, play it, have some fun. Then we got Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. We checked that out. This here for me is the best game on the court. I love it. It's Shinobi. It's a sequel to Shinobi. You have a wolf that you set on the guys and he goes straight for the gonads, and then you chuck ninja stars at them. Play this. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. I don't care what anyone says. The arcade version is the better version, and Mega Drive will always be second. Where's Wally? Okay, where's Wally? You want to go to the arcade. You don't want to do ninjas. You don't want to shoot stuff. You want to find stuff, then this is your jam. But either way, absolutely amazing to get a public release of this. And look at this, man. The soundtrack for Michael Jackson's Moonwalker is just banging. It's got all the hits in that SEGA System 18 style. Check it out. Good news if you are an Analogue Pocket user and you're a basketball fan that likes run and gun. ℳ𝒾𝓈𝓈 and his team have implemented some fixes. So this is what ℳ𝒾𝓈𝓈 says in his latest Patreon post. So, service released with several items. The most important one is that we made the frame buffer for the Analogue Pocket stable for 96 MHz cores. That means that run and gun core will work for all users in a reliable way now. Some, if not most users, were getting blank screen before. So guys, this should be working. If you were getting a blank screen, make sure you run the updater, you grab the latest version of the core, and you should be having fun on your Analogue Pocket. This wasn't a problem for the MiSTer, so the MiSTer version that was working before should be working as it was. Now I have to say I am running an earlier version or a video here of an earlier version of the core, and there might be some graphical improvements as well. Oh, I've just noticed that this video in particular has been liked 69 times. So if you haven't pressed that like button, press it now. And I missed. Moving on from run and gun to CPS3, and for good reason. So ℧𝒾𝓈 in the latest Patreon post says that whatever has been learnt regarding the frame buffer for the Analogue Pocket and other work done on the run and gun core will directly benefit CPS3, specifically saying that the feature was a requisite for JT-CPS3 development. And I like that he's named it JT-CPS3. It means it's got that project name, and hopefully we will be getting a beta for this sometime, hopefully in the near future. I mean, I can wait, but I can't wait. It's my most desired core. So CPS3 development is definitely getting closer because run and gun is getting complete, and next on the roadmap is CPS3. So yeah, looking forward to this whenever it comes out. I know it's a big one. Do let me know. Am I the only one that likes Third Strike as my favorite game on CPS3, or are you one of the folk that likes one of the other games? Is Warzard your favorite, or do you like one of the JoJo's or one of the other Street Fighter 3 games? Or are you like me, Third Strike for life, baby? Caliber 50, a game that I played in the arcade and I'm very much looking forward to, and this is something that ℧𝒾𝓈 and his team are working on. So ℧𝒾𝓈 on his latest Patreon post gives us an update on this. He says SEGA's Caliber 50 uses a 65C02, C being the important letter in there, 65C02 processor. Guess what? ℧𝒾𝓈 learned the hard way that it's not compatible with the 6502. Available CPU modules on the internet did not work, or they were not accurate. So ℧𝒾𝓈 ended up making his own cycle accurate 65C02, as it is backwards compatible with the 6502. The JT cores that were using the 6502 CPU have been changed to use this new JT module, and those games include Renegade, Dragon Ninja and Robocop, as well as some other Data East games. And always mad props to ℧𝒾𝓈 and his dedication to accuracy. He says as part of the work for Caliber 50, the team reviewed the design files for other 68XX CPUs, and they did find a couple of errata about the CPU cycles that have now been corrected. Now this isn't something you may notice, but it has been made more accurate. Stuff has been corrected with this now, and the game in particular that ℧𝒾𝓈 and his team are talking about is the arcade classic brawler Double Dragon. Good news if you're after Premier Soccer. ℧𝒾𝓈 says that him and the team have finished the schematics for Konami's Premier Soccer, and they will look into core conversion soon. So that's really good. If that's something you're looking forward to, you like your football games, you play this in the arcade, we should be seeing a release for this soon for devices like the MiSTer and the Analogue Pocket. ℧𝒾𝓈 goes on to say that the next game where the schematics are going to get extracted is this one here. It's Gal's Panic from Kaneko, and he says let him know if you want to see this. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to run this on the channel. I think this might be the PG version, but I'm pretty sure I've seen hacks where you see more than what you're seeing here right now. But hey, if that's your cup of tea and that's what you have played in the arcade instead of something like Street Fighter, then let ℧𝒾𝓈 know. Something that I really like about FPGA gaming is the dedication of developers to revisit old cores when they find something that either bugged them or a bug that was in there that bugged someone else, but either way, a solution that makes the experience better. So Anton Gell here, that brought over the arcade classic Tiger Heli to FPGA platforms such as the MiSTer and the Analogue Pocket. Well, look at this tweet from them. I finally tracked down an issue in the Slapfire FPGA core that was causing an issue with Tiger Heli title sequence. The game uses sprites to build the helicopter animation. It turns out I overlooked a clear signal on the single IC. Expect update soon. And when was that put out? That was put out on the 11th of December, and no later, when was this one put out? Okay, the 13th, 2 days later. Updated Slapfight Tiger Heli core is now available to download via update tool. So the MiSTer fixes here. I'm not sure if the Analogue Pocket 1 has been updated yet. No doubt it will, but for now you can grab this updated version of the core for your MiSTer right now. So there you go. Look, before fix applied, little helicopter blades. After the fix has been applied, big helicopter blades. Twin Cobra, a vertical shmup featuring a helicopter. This is a fun arcade, difficult but fun. Now this was available on the MiSTer for quite some time, but it was in beta. The good news is now it is out of beta. It is available for the MiSTerFPGA as well as the Analogue Pocket. In order to grab it, run your favorite updater and enjoy. And its core is courtesy of the CoinOp collection. Good news for the MiSTerFPGA PlayStation Core. It has received an update. So initially it was an unstable update, but then it got pushed to update all, and this gives us some fixes. So previously on games like Wipeout, all the Wipeout games, what happened was the CD track would not change. So if you finished the race and the track ran, rather than getting to the next track, it would just repeat the same track. Thanks to ℾ𝒾𝓈 and the work that he's done on Robert Pape's FPGA Zoom Spaces core, the improvements that he's implemented has resolved that issue. As well as that, there are some changes and some improvements and some bug fixes. Games like Vigilante 8, which I think had like a black screen on the vehicle, I was going to say character select, but the vehicle select screen, that has gone. Games like Goofy's Funhouse, I think, not a game I'm ever interested in. Don't get me wrong, I like some Disney games, but not the ones that are real kiddie games. But yeah, that one there, if that was your jam and you had issues with that launching, that has been resolved. There are other improvements as well. This is a core that's constantly being worked on. Not to say that the core isn't excellent, it's a great core already, but as users report bugs, they find issues with it, members of the community take it to resolve those specific issues. So big shout out to Robert Pape for the original core and community members, developers like ℾ𝒾𝓈 that are improving this. So all you need to do now is just run update tool, grab the latest version and enjoy. Let's now talk about test builds and unstable nightlies for the MiSTerFPGA. And in all honesty, guys, there has been a heck of a lot in the last week. So for test builds, we've got plenty of stuff for the NES and the PlayStation. For the NES, a lot of mappers are now being included, right? So now, like a lot of the pirate games that didn't work before, or a lot of the collections where you've got like 38 games in one, 50 games in one, 150 in one, they are now working on the MiSTerFPGA because the core is constantly getting updated. When it comes to unstable nightlies, honestly, I can't mention the amount of cores that have been updated, but just to name a few, stuff like the SEGA Master System, the PC Engine or the TurboGrafx-16, the 32X, stuff like the TI-994A, no idea what that is, as well as the MiSTer Main, the operating system, arcade games such as Cobra, the Acorn Core, Amstrad, guys, I'm not naming all of them, Neo Geo, I'm just breezing through a massive list, having a look at some stuff and picking out some random ones, like Atari ST, C64. Honestly, if you want to try the latest and the greatest features, head over to the MiSTerFPGA Discord server, over to test builds and unstable nightlies, and get the latest versions of the game. Now, I know they're called unstable, they really aren't that unstable. They are actually very stable, but you can test stuff out on them. Usually when I do streams, when I do videos, I am often running the latest unstable version of the core, and I rarely come across any issues. Like, there are too many to name this week. Check them out. If there's a system that you're particularly interested in, then check out the unstable versions. But yeah, that's it. Let's move on. Anyone that's after a Mr. Laggy, this is something that's been designed by ℾ𝒾𝓈, aka Martin Donlon, and over here he's saying, looking for stocking stuffer for the Mr. Nerd in your life? There you go, they are available to buy. So what exactly is the Mr. Laggy? It's a device that you connect to your MiSTer and you can work out your display lag using this in combination with your MiSTer. So currently they are available in stock and they're only $12. I kind of want one, so if anyone knows someone in the UK selling them, because I think when I buy it from this site, the UK shipping just absolutely kills it, at least doubles it in price or whatever. But hey, if you are in the USA or you don't mind paying the shipping cost, check this out. So yeah, there are some available right now if you want to see what display works best with your MiSTer and you want to measure it in a scientific way. ℾ𝒾𝓈 has given us excellent cores on the MiSTerFPGA, including lots of IRM cores and most recently the Taito stuff. I don't know why that isn't loading. Let's go back to that. So Mr. Laggy back in stock. You don't have to make it yourself, you can buy a pre-made, pre-assembled one. The MiSTerFPGA Discord server, they do a challenge like every few weeks, and sometimes they do games that I have no interest in playing, but sometimes they do games that I like and I am interested in. However, I do understand there's a vast amount of gamers out there and we all like different stuff, and that's what makes us so unique and awesome. So this one here is something I'm interested in, and usually when it's something I'm interested in, I may compete in it. If I don't, I like highlighting it. So Mr. Walrus, the person from over the MiSTerFPGA Discord server that organizes these, so massive shout out to you. Before we look at the game that is on offer for this challenge, What I want to point out, you don't necessarily have to play this on the MiSTer. You can play this on original hardware via an emulator. The whole point of this is have some fun, get involved, and well, try and get a higher score so you can boast to the others how good you are. So over here, Mr. Walrus says, our next game challenge on MiSTerFPGA Discord is the arcade game Liquid Kids. Released in 1990 by Taito, this is a puzzle platformer, is an offshoot of the Bubble Bobble series with some interesting twists. Okay, I didn't know it was an offshoot of that. You learn something new every day, and that's my learning for the day. Single credit score challenge starts now and goes until December the 21st. Have fun. So yeah, you've still got like another 8 days left in there. If you like this game, or you're good at it, or you just want to get involved for fun, I do participate once in a while. I'm not sure if I'll have time to participate in this, but get involved. It is heaps of fun. MiSTer Organize have pushed their latest update, which was December the 7th, which was almost a week ago. So what is MiSTer Organize? Well, it's a way, like the title suggests, to organize your MiSTer. It puts your games in all different folders, different ways of accessing them, different ways of accessing your content. So whatever files that you have, if you kind of slap them in there, use some of the software that they provide, it puts them into nice, neat little lists. I find this particularly useful if you're looking for games, or like, let's say for example, you're having a games night and you're like, oh, we want to play like, I don't know, 2-player versus games or something. You can go and pick a list and everything will be there. Now they keep adding more stuff to it, adding like additional stuff. I know recently they've kind of added support for like games that are compatible with the Sinden light gun, so do check them out. They do have a Patreon if you want to get some advanced features. If not, you can join their Discord and you can use a lot of their stuff. So yeah, MiSTer Organize, a new update. So let's talk about this. These went on sale on the 10th, which was Wednesday, right? December the 10th, 8 AM PST or 4 PM UK time or 5 PM Central European time. And these are the fantastic colors. Now, there was lots of kind of mixed views on this. A lot of people were left with a very bad taste in their mouth because they just initially got their pre-order that they backed almost 2 years ago. And they were like, man, now I'm gonna have to double dip, or I should have got the option. There were some people that were happy with it. There were some people that didn't pre-order it. I said it personally in my video. Honestly, I really don't care. I don't really care too much about the colors. As long as I've got a functioning unit, I'm pretty happy. But hey guys, I do get it, and I get all views. Analogue are a business. The Analogue 3D got delayed, so they may have had these shells, or they may have had these ready to go, and the initial plan may have been holiday season 2025, but with the black and white units getting delayed, the initial launch getting delayed, maybe they had these sitting there and they had to push them out. But also, let's not forget, there was a time where Analogue were unchallenged with dedicated FPGA consoles. So stuff like the mod retro surfacing is giving them competition in the particular console that they're targeting with this FPGA. So if I was a company like Analogue, I might be thinking, well, you know what, we're selling it for like $270 for the standard one, $300 for the limited edition, and Mod Retro are coming out and selling it for $200. If that includes a controller, it's going to be exceptional value, irregardless of which one is better. Let's say the Analogue one is better, man, $100 plus is a big saving. So maybe people are going to jump to that, and it's going to put a dent in their bottom line. So I understand it from a business perspective, but I also understand that a lot of people are cheesed off. You know, I'm just here reporting the news. I don't have much of an opinion. I'll just cover whatever's out there. But let's have a look at these. So one good thing was the normal versions came back in stock. So from the 10th, we're on the 13th today, and they're still in stock. You can order them. They're not out of stock. However, the limited editions are guaranteed by Analogue to get to you by Christmas, or was it shipped by Christmas? But no, have it by Christmas from what I understand. These ones are going to ship in January. I actually bought a white one for my friend who wasn't able to buy it due to being at work, and I ordered it for them, and they thought they would be getting this before Christmas. Well, it looks like not, but I've ordered it for them anyway, and I'll probably play it before they get it. They're cool like that. So hopefully when I get this, I can start doing some content and some videos on there. You can still get the controllers here. There you go. You can get those ones here, but all the fantastic colors are sold out. Let's just see, right, if anyone has cancelled an order and anything's come back in stock. Nope, absolutely not. And a lot of people really seem to like this gold color. I don't know which one I like. There was one called Grape. Grape is one that people liked as well. That is a really nice color as well. Watermelon was around for quite some time, even like maybe an hour later. So a lot of people did have a chance to get these. I've seen people post like eBay links with again for like $500, and that's just normal, right? That happens. Some things highly limited, it gets sold and scalpers go out there and make money, right? That's just life. Now that's the controllers there, and hey, you can still order the controllers if you want, but they're not shipping until February 2026. So it looks like the Analogue 3D's quite the success. This is what I really want to come back in stock. The Analogue Pockets, I still like doing videos for this. There's still stuff coming out for this, and people are like, we can't order the device. So Analogue, if you're watching this, I know you're focusing on the 3D and fulfilling all the orders on the fantastic colors and the normal black and white restock, but get us some pockets, man. We need the pockets. I think I'm the biggest dedicated Analogue Pocket channel. I could be wrong. Maybe there's someone bigger out there that does it. But I do have a lot of content on this, and I would just like them back in stock so people that are enjoying the videos, they're seeing the stuff, can actually purchase one. And hopefully soon. I don't think it's the end of the line for the Analogue Pocket, because Analogue would have said that's the end of the line like they did with the Mega SG and the Super NT, but hopefully we can get some back in stock. Do let me know, did you pick up one of these limited edition colors, or were you like my friend that was like, yeah, just get the white one, I'm all good, I'll save the $30. In hindsight, I should have just paid the extra bucks for him and surprised him with a limited edition color. But here you go, guys, that's life. So really good news here for those that have a lot of cartridges for like the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, and you want to dump your own cartridges, you want to dump your own save data, you want to dump your own real-time clock data, and you want to use it in different places. So the Analogue Pocket, which is also already a great device, it is now becoming a really good preservation tool. So we've got well, let me have we'll flick through this page. You can see some of the beautiful stuff down here. Big shout out to Noel, the developer behind this. Amazing work. Now, I do intend to do a separate video on this, but yeah, stuff just keeps popping up. But as soon as I get a chance, I do intend to sit down and do it. But in the meantime, I'll leave a link to this if you do want to check this out for yourself. But over here, a layman's version written with some help from Anime Otaku. So MROM, a new tool for Game Boy cartridge preservation via Analogue Pocket. So with an Analogue Pocket, here you go, you can extract game data, dematerialize, you can pull the full ROM content from the cartridge and store it on your SD card. So if you've got a cartridge and there's not a ROM for it on the internet, or you can't find it, or you just want the satisfaction of knowing that these are actual backups of your games. Manage save games, easily retrieve backup or re-upload save files between the cartridge and Analogue Pocket's SD card. Check cartridge details, view essential hardware information, including ROM, RAM size, and the memory bank controller, MBC type. So a lot of stuff here. This is just an abridged version. If you do want to check out the Metal Game Solid post. And if you want to download this and try it out on your Pocket, you can do so. Amazing stuff. I know the developer has a lot of stuff planned for this in the future, and a lot of updates to add more support to different cartridge types. So watch this space, keep an eye on this project. Absolutely love it. This is really, really interesting. And it's just amazing, you know, like a preservation tool now. You don't need to buy separate equipment now to dump stuff on your PC and play it on like your Analogue Pocket or play it on an emulator. You can do it directly from your Analogue Pocket. Amazing stuff. Keep up the great work, Noel. Well, what has Tamariel been up to? This is a developer that's, well, they brought over a lot of cores to the Tank series of consoles, and it looks like they're still working at stuff, and this is a core that they have been working on. So introducing Z8086, a new 8086 and 8088 soft core that runs on original Intel microcode, around 1200 ALMs on Cyclone 5, 2500 LUTs on GW5A, vendor neutral system Verilog, and let's have a look at these pictures. I like pictures. Okay, so there you go. Some stuff out there. But what's really interesting is going over to the GitHub, you can see that it's supported by the Tank console 60K, so rather the larger one as well, I suppose. The Micro Phase XE7A352, which is an RTX 7, and the DE10 Nano, the MiSTer Cyclone 5. So if you're interested in this, check it out. Let's now talk about the GF1 Neptune from GamesCare. Now, this is something that has been delayed until next year. What exactly is it? Well, it's an FPGA console based on Sega's cancelled Neptune console. Remember, previously there was Neptunes, but they were actually Neptunes built using components from an original Mega Drive and a 32X to make your own Neptune. It was a difficult mod, but a lot of people out there did it, or a few people out there did it. It looked very, very interesting. This one here is an FPGA console that's based around that. And from our recording, call. It's going to do what the Neptune does, which is 32X and the Sega Mega Drive, but being an FPGA, there's always a potential of other cores. So I wish the team the best, and hopefully we'll see your project hit the market in 2026. So guys, apparently it is dead. After the great tragedy of finding out that the Mars FPGA was a dead project, guess what? SuperSEGA is following that. So again, something that was never born has actually died, and that's coming from Alejandro. Everyone got an email. I think everyone that signed up for their mailing list got like an email pretty much just saying that they are dead, and I don't know, just random weird stuff in there. But what's really, really weird, guys, is guess what, right? In that email, it says we've sent an email out to specific press, or I guess I'm part of that. And they've sent an email out. When I checked it, they sent it to me and they sent it to Slope's Game Room. And in that one, it's got a whole email chain allegedly between them and this Asian company that they were using to make their product. Do let me know if you want me to go through that and do a dedicated video on that. It's probably just a whole load of faff, but I haven't read it yet. I'm doing a weekly news video, but I will go through it. But there's a lot of stuff there. Apparently the whole email chain about them speaking about their project, again, I take it with a grain of salt. Take anything these guys do with a grain of salt. But they have put out an email saying they are dead or deaf unless by some crazy reason they get resurrected. So let's go over here and check this out. That's the video that was linked, and it's not even their normal channel. They're called SuperSEGA Dead. And in this, Alejandro speaks in Spanish. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to use, like, it didn't have the options on there to do auto dubbing or no subtitles. Alejandro had the shave. He's got that white jacket. He's got some stuff there in the background. Yeah, so apparently this is, it's now dead, official from them. There's an article over on the Metal Game Solid that Aleem Tayyab actually wrote while I was doing this video, which goes through some of that stuff, and I did a video on that last night, which you were seeing kind of here. So that's the email that went out, and as you can see over here at the bottom, I've got Resurrect highlighted, but on the first line there, just above the highlighted part, SuperSEGA is officially deaf. Now what's really funny is the translation there. It should be SuperSEGA is officially dead, but they are saying that they're deaf. You know, they're going around like the Grim Reaper. Who freaking knows with these guys? But they did send me another email. It's an email that only went out, as far as I could tell, to myself in Slope's Game Room, just kind of saying that, going through this whole convo. I'm not sure if I want to do a video on it, but if you guys want to see like that email and exactly the whole trail of what they're saying, their journey with this Asian company, making their half FPGA, making their half software emulated thing, then do let me know. But honestly, yeah, SuperSEGA is dead. My heart can't take it. So for anyone out there with a Nintendo Switch 2, and I think the emulation for this only works on the Switch 2, or does it work on the Switch 1 as well? So you can go out there and you can buy these Virtual Boy masks. You've got two of them. You've got one for $100 and you've got one for $25 that's made of cardboard. And apparently these are only available if you're like one of the higher tier online subscribers. I am for the first year. I'm probably going to cancel it. I hardly play my Switch 2, but having a look at these, okay, so $99.99, releases the 17th of February, but it looks like they are up for pre-order. So if you do want to grab this, grab it, sign into your account and get it if you want to get the Virtual Boy. I'm not sure if this is something I want. I mean, I haven't got a lot of space, so I have to be very selective with the clutter that I want, but I know a lot of people like the Virtual Boy and they're going to be interested in this. And here we've got the cardboard one releasing at the same time, and yeah, so it reminds me of Google Cardboard. You're paying cardboard, you put your Switch in there. Okay, so it's for the Switch 2 and the Switch, so I guess you're emulating on both. I wonder if there's any advantages, if anyone knows out there, are there any advantages that the Switch 2 has over the Switch 1 when it comes to Virtual Boy emulation using a virtual kind of reality Virtual Boy headset? The Street Fighter movie, the trailer's out, and guys, I have to say I am impressed. I absolutely love it, and I'll explain why. Now, you're probably thinking the day you watch this movie is the greatest day of your life, but for Pixel Cherry Ninja, it's just Tuesday. But guys, Like, I've seen people online saying, oh, this looks terrible. Some people say it looks good. You have to remember, watch this for what it is. Watch it for a light-hearted, fun, crazy movie with your Street Fighter people in there and some over-the-top exaggerated moves. Don't think this is going to be a movie where they're talking about their feelings and, you know, it's going to be a deep one. Just watch it and just watch it for fun. Have that in mind. I learned that a while ago, right? So what happened? Look at that. They're beating up a car there, man. Ah, absolutely amazing. So I watched, what was the movie? Army of Darkness, right? When it first came out. And I was disappointed by that movie because I was like, this is nothing like the Evil Dead movies. Then a friend of mine years later, when we were talking about it, I said, I didn't like the movie. He said, no, you watched it wrong. I said, can you watch something wrong? He said, yes, you can. He said, look, watch it for a comedy spoof on Evil Dead, and it's a great movie. And I watched it again and I was like, okay, I like the movie. In fact, I watched it like a few months ago again, and it's a great bloody movie. But you need to go in thinking, yeah, it's just a fun thing. Don't expect too much and you won't be disappointed. By the way, love that Ryu throw there. Anyway, guys, Street Fighter movie. Yeah, I might go cinema. Who knows? I don't like cinema, but I might go for this. So a big thank you out to the translation community and also Anime Otaku for doing this article on Metal Game Solid. And the reason I'm really like fascinated by PC Engine stuff, well, let's have a look at the title first, right? So Necros Fortress for the PC Engine, fully playable in English thanks to a new fan translation. So guys, when I had my PC Engine, guess what? I had the Japanese one. It was never released in the UK. And what happened was when I picked games, I had to pick games looking at the cover, looking at the hue card and thinking, oh, this looks good. And sometimes I'd buy an RPG game or I'd buy a text-heavy game and I would have to return it and I would never get the full money back. I'd get 2/3 as trade-in value. Yes, Musical Video Exchange in Notting Hill Gate is where I bought a lot of my PC Engine games. But anyway, it's nice to see this stuff getting translated. It means a game that you may have not been able to play but wanted to play, you can play because fans are translating so much out there now. So thank you very much for this. Necros Fortress translation available. Since we're on the subject of PC Engine, I thought this would be a nice one to go through. So Gaming Alexandria, someone that just does so much for preservation. So happy Friday, we're thrilled to announce the full run of Marukatsu PC Engine is now available to download view. We believe we have now scanned every Japanese PC Engine focused magazine completely. Enjoy it and please spread the word by liking and retweeting. Oh, I've done that already. And a big shout out to David Shadoff as well, because I know they donated some of their PC Engine stuff to Gaming Alexandria, who actually scanned them and made those available. So this is absolutely amazing. This is history being documented and it is just absolutely superb. So Gaming Alexandria, thank you so much for the work that you do. We freaking love you, man. Midnight Brew Games have got this charity bundle going and they've sold 330 and there's only 92 left now. So if you're a fan of the ZX Spectrum, you definitely want to get this. And from what I understand, Midnight Brew Games, it has all their games here and it is £16 or more if you want to give more, but the minimum you give is £16 to get all these games. I want to send a special thank you out to Happy Coding for actually bringing this to my attention. So what happens here? All proceeds donated to Movember charity, changing the face of men's health. So if you want to get some games and donate to charity, you can definitely do that. And here's a list of the games here. There's too many for me to read out, but you've got stuff like Pac-Man Begins, Pac-Man RX, Perils in Willy Roust, Frogger RX, and looking at the B-side, Jam Redshift, Specky Soccer. There's a whole bunch of games here. So if you're a ZX Spectrum fan, I guess this is a must. Do check it out. And it's always nice doing stuff for charity. So guys, that wraps it up for this week. I certainly hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, if you're not subscribed to the channel, then a subscription and a like is super duper appreciated. Be freaking awesome to one another. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.